Yo, yo, what's up? What's up? It's your boy Dwell coming at you sideways. This is another episode of Sideways with your boy Dwell. I repeat, another episode of Sideways with your boy Dwell. Today, the topic will be basically regarding our times today. Basically, our pretty much with our election. You know what I mean? Usually, I also have a segment where I do movie recommendations. So it's gonna go hand in hand with each other. It's a movie recommendation, and I'm gonna give my views also on the situation. The other day, I was streaming, looking for a movie to watch, and the movie that popped out, and I clicked it, not for no specific reason, but I started watching it. It's the movie Lincoln. Lincoln, as in one of the presidents of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. There's a lot of talk about how our president, which is the president of the United States right now, pretty soon not to be, Donald Trump, he talks about so much how, or he compares himself so much to Abraham Lincoln. I'm not a politician, man. I really don't know too much about politics. I pretty much know what I read. You know what I mean? At the end, I'm just a citizen like everybody else, trying to live my life, trying to have fun, trying to take care of my family, trying to get my job done. At the end of the day, that's me. But here and there, eventually the governmental issues, which are politics, even if you're not all about that one way or another, it gets into your head or it gets into the topic. And a lot of the times, a lot of the memes, a lot of the things you see on the news, a lot of that you see about President Trump, a lot of times he compares himself to Abraham Lincoln. And like I said, I don't know too much about Abraham Lincoln. You know what I mean? The only thing I know is from what they teach you in school. You know what I mean? And even in that, they teach you very little bit. From what I know about Abraham Lincoln, and from what I hear, Honest Abe, they call him Honest Abe, which means for some reason he always told the truth. Another thing I heard about Abe was he was the president during the Civil War, which was one of the hardcore wars and the most bloodiest or the most lives lost, compared to any other war. The most American lives lost compared to any other war. He was the president of that. And also he's basically the president that freed the slaves or signed or declared the Emancipation Proclamation. That's pretty much what I know. But as I was watching this movie, obviously it's a movie, so they add and they take things out. This movie was actually directed by Steven Spielberg. And it was released in 2012 or made in 2012. There's a lot of good actors in that movie. A lot of good actors. A lot of actors that you might see in other movies. I'm not going to go on all that, but it was a good movie after all. That's why I'm talking about it, because I do recommend it. It goes with our times. It does go with our times today. The movie it's Lincoln, but it's based on Abraham Lincoln, directed by Steven Spielberg. Writers, Tony Kushner, I think that's the writer, and a lot more to go. But like I said, I don't know too much about Abraham Lincoln. It's a movie, but to some extent, they have to respect the majority. I mean, they're going to add and take away, add stuff that's not, take away stuff that is. Regarding in reality, but for the most part, I'm pretty sure they try to do as much possible as they can to really make it how it was, how he is, what he said, what he did. You know what I mean? And in no way do I see how Donald Trump can compare himself to this guy, even in the way they talk. I'm not talking about accent. But if this is how Abraham really was, there's no way I don't know how he could compare himself, even just with the verbal. This guy in the movie, at least, like I said, I don't know his speeches. Even in the movie, every time he talks, you want to hear. I at least wanted to hear what he said. I was like, wow, if this man was really, how he was, man, no wonder he's respected, because he is a respected president. But I was just like, this is the type of person, that we should aspire to be. You know what I mean? I was like, this is the type of quality, even in just the way he talks. You know what I mean? He seems humble. He seemed, because I mean, I don't know at the end of the day if it's really how he was, but it's like, I know they're trying to portray him as best as they can and respectably. At least that's what I hope. It's a movie. Like I said, I know they're going to take and add. Not once have I ever heard Donald Trump talk in this way, form, or manner. I've heard nothing but negativity come out of his mouth. You know what I mean? And at the majority of it, you know what I mean? It doesn't even sound like it comes from his heart or his mind. It doesn't even look like he's reading it sometimes. Even if somebody wrote his speeches for him, doesn't look like it's from him. That's one thing I've gotten from Donald Trump. But this movie basically, Donald Trump compares himself, says he's done more for the black community than any other president except Abraham Lincoln. I don't know what he's done for the black community. I'm not black, but I'm Mexican or Latino, if that's what you want to categorize me. But as a Latino community, usually us blacks and Latinos, Mexican, Hispanics, we're pretty much in the same page regarding our way of lives. You know what I mean? We're minorities, and pretty much we relate to a lot of the stuff we go through. You know what I mean? When it comes to politics, at least. Maybe not in cultures, but when it comes to politics, obviously they've had it rougher than us, based on this country at least. But when it comes to now, we pretty much have the same. When it comes to the government issues, we pretty much as a majority on the same page. At least that's what I think. I don't know too many black Americans. I can't say African Americans, because in reality, not disrespecting nobody, there is a lot of African Americans, but not there's also Jamaicans, you know what I mean, Haitians, which they all come from Africa. But I'm just saying. But so we're all one. They're all one. We're Latinos. We're all one. In reality, we can be like I said, we're not one. And just like them, they're different cultures, different groups. But at the end, they're black, we're brown, we're Latino. So I just gonna, no disrespect to nobody, the black American. You know what I mean? Because we're all in this. You here, you're American. And if you're black, well, you're black. You're brown, you're American. Latino, Hispanic. But yeah, I personally, if he hasn't done nothing for us, or if he's done so much for the black community, we probably would have felt it in that regard. You know what I mean? He has done then so much, we would have felt that coming towards our way. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. I don't know what he's done, because I don't feel it. You know what I mean? What this guy did, like we said, he freed the slaves. You know what I mean? He went to war. From what I saw in this movie, it's pretty hardcore, man. He went to war in order to fight for all those things, man. He didn't go to war, but yeah, he sacrificed many things to win this. And that's why not just the black American that were slaves are free, but pretty much because of that, we are good. Any other minority group, Middle Eastern, Asian, everybody, not including whites. That's why we have the opportunity today, because of that starting point. You know what I mean? I don't see how Trump can compare himself to that, as he's done the most for any black American in this country. I can't compare what Trump has done to what he's done for sure. I don't know why he compares himself to that. On top of that, we are living in times what Trump is doing in reality, because last night, today is the 15th, Sunday, November 15th. So I guess last night in Washington, D.C., all the pro-Trump supporters were protesting, which what we did, or the Democrats or the people that were against Trump did back in 2016. Not our president, not our president. So now, you know what I mean? Now you got pro-Trump supporters doing that in Washington, D.C., which in reality, Trump is the one that has caused the divide, the way I see it. A division, you know what I mean? And I saw in reality, people were fighting each other in Washington, D.C. You know what I mean? And then I read a tweet that he said, Antifa scum ran away. You know, what kind of message is that? You think Abraham Lincoln would have said that? I doubt he would have said that. You know what I mean? And to my point, that is wrong. Being a president, being a leader, why can't you, Donald Trump, just say, hey, everybody, keep the peace? If you want to believe you didn't win, that's cool. But keep the peace, man. You know what I mean? Tell your people, tell the people, keep the peace. If I win, I win. And if I don't, I don't. You know what I mean? But to me, it's pretty hardcore that people are fighting, whether you're Democrat or Republican. You know what I mean? Whether it's the Democrats starting it, whether it's the Republicans starting it. At the end of the day, I believe Trump caused the division, which was already kind of there, hiding. But he sparked the match or ignited it. You know what I mean? The fuel was already there. He just sparked it. Why? Because he is a voice. He is a leader. And people are going to believe him, whether he's right or wrong. He's going to have his group. And from the way the news speaks about it, it's pretty much half and half. Half blue, half red. At the end of the day, I don't know why we live our life based on colors. You know what I mean? I personally believe man came from the dirt, then from the rib, and then came from the dirt, was given the breath of life, then from the rib, and then all of us. From another perspective, we all created from the same seed. One seed was thrown in there, and we all came out. I doubt there was the black seed, the white seed, the brown seed, I don't think that's what it was. At the end, we're all the same people. We created the same, we're still the same individuals. We're made the same. We bleed the same. We get sick the same. We die the same. So, I just want to also, mention, it's a good movie, because in this time, you can see the separation. I really didn't know the Confederate States. I had an idea they divided themselves. But in reality, they had their own government too. They had their own president and their own vice president. And obviously they were against whatever the U.S. Army, or the U.S. government, which was still Abraham Lincoln, which is the U.S. But the Confederates separated themselves from that. It's a good movie, everybody. I recommend it. Lincoln. Directed by Steven Spielberg. It's a good movie. I liked it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not hardcore politician. I'm not a politician. I'm not really into politics. You can see my other videos, and I do believe in why we should vote. I do believe we should vote. I do believe our vote matters, our voice matters, and yeah. But today, what the people are fighting for is nothing to what people were fighting for in his times, in the civil rights movement, when Martin Luther King and Malcolm X were around. You know what I mean? Right now, yeah, okay, there is some points, but in reality, what I'm trying to say is people are fighting for not to disrespect nobody, but this is what we're fighting for. You know what I mean? We're fighting for I don't know, you guys know what we're fighting for, what people are standing up for. A lot of it is nothing compared to what the civil rights movement was doing, what the people were going through at that time. You know what I mean? Because ain't nobody getting kicked out of bus. Ain't nobody being told to sit in back of a bus. Ain't no restaurant saying as a whole country, you can't eat here. No Mexicans, no whites. Pretty much not even, hey, no gays. No gays allowed. Where do you ever see that? You know what I mean? You don't see none of that. People just want to fight to fight. And you have your right to. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, our voice matters. But we should really think about it. You know what I mean? We're fighting too much. We're fighting too much. We're fighting each other. And it seems like there is a division. So I just want to say, instead of fighting, let's keep the peace. You know, everybody. You know, we shouldn't be hating the situation we're living in right now. It's tough times for everybody. Right now we got people getting sick. Instead, we should be working on how we should, you know, take care of each other, help each other out. You know what I mean? Some people don't believe there's something going on. Some people do. At the end of the day, let's support each other, respect each other. And let's not, you know, what's going to happen right now? If they close the borders, you know, a lot of people I was reading what Antifa means, close our borders, etc., etc. What, not Antifa, the Proud Boys. You know what I mean? What's going to happen when you close the borders, man? One thing, Donald Trump came along the line, his family came, you know what I mean, from a different country. Everybody here came from a different country, not only the Mexicans. Like I said in my other videos, the Mexicans are probably the closest to an American compared to any other race, because we've been here, you know what I mean? But at the end, we're all immigrants. You know, if you ain't a Native American, brown, Cherokee, Navajo, etc., you're not really an American. You're an immigrant. But it is the U.S. But what I'm saying, what's going to happen if they close the borders? The reason people, why you want to close the borders, the bad stuff's going to keep happening. I say, like, just an example, if you close the borders, okay, no illegal, if that's what you want to call them, is going to come in. What about the drugs? They're going to come in one way or another, because who buys them? Look at history. There's a lot of white Americans that became big time drug dealers. Obviously, where do they get it from? And those people are still here. Those people are still here. It's not just one, it's thousands and thousands of people doing that, buying it. A lot of Anglo-Saxons, white Americans. You know, it's not only the blacks, it's not only what are you gonna do with them? If the illegals ain't here, the illegal people they want to close the borders to stop the drugs, what are you gonna do to those drug dealers, huh? What are you gonna do to them? Put them in jail for life? Because they're illegal too. They're doing illegal things. So what's fair is fair, right? It's a good movie, man. Watch it. You know, it's basically what was going on when there was a separation in the country and the repercussions. Do we really want to go through that? If we divide ourselves, if this country divides itself in half, and we start fighting each other, which I hope not, you know what I mean? I hope it's only temporary and we get over this. Like I said, we are brothers and sisters. At the end of the day, we're all brothers and sisters regarding color. And I hope it doesn't go too far. But that's the talk. Division. There's a division. And I'm pretty sure that's how it was in those times. But nowadays, you know, we have probably more enemies. This country has more enemies or rivals than they probably did in those times. What would happen if we divide each other ourselves like that, you know? Think about it. We're going down. We're bringing ourselves down. This country's going to bring itself down. And people are going to take advantage. Think they won't? So I just hope the best for everybody. Let's keep it up. Keep our heads strong. Think better. Avoid the problems. Watch this movie. It's a good movie. And at the end of the day, you have your right to believe what you want to believe, but stand up for it in a proper way. Ain't no reason to beat up an American. You know what I mean? A brother to beat up a brother. Kill each other. Hurt each other. That's what I've been seeing. That's what happened in Washington, D.C., and it might keep happening in other states and cities throughout the times. So, a message to Donald Trump: please, say something, man. Say something instead of saying something negative like there's a thief of scum ran out of do something about it, man. Bring peace to the people. Say something positive. Say something right. Hope everybody likes and subscribes, and hope everybody has a good day. Peace.